guys, today I'm making panty liners, sanitary towels, whatever you want to call them. Now I've been wearing these for just over a year now. I found them to be brilliant. I'm cutting down on plastic waste and landfill materials because these just go round and round. They're absolutely brilliant. They just go straight in the wash with your clothes, whatever, fantastic. These ones here I have had for over a year. They're some of the first ones I made, and I'm finding them still absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so if you want to give these a go, I'm making a load at the moment, and I thought, I got sort of like halfway through making them, and I thought, you know what, I'll show you what I'm doing. If you'd like to make some, then you can have a go. So these are a thicker one for a heavy bleed, which has extra padding inside as well as the back of the padding. Right, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to make some liners today, so you can see. Also on these ones, the new ones I'm making, these are some of the older ones here, and I've been wearing these for over a year, and they've just been fantastic. They wash really well. So there we go. Okay, so as you can see, there are a few different styles. I've got my larger ones for a heavy flow. I have my medium size for lighter flow. And then I have my liners, which are really just for in-between periods perhaps, or for spotting, light spotting. They're a lot thinner. You can hardly feel you've even got these on, to be honest. You know, you can tell the difference. They are slightly thinner, same length but slightly thinner. So there we go. Now I'll show you the difference in the sizes. The liners, if I show you on the cardboard cutouts I've got, the liners across the middle are around 2 inches. The next pad up is 2.5, and then my larger heavy flow pads actually are probably 2 3/4 really, maybe still, you know, 2.5. When you've made them, they do actually, because they're thicker, that they're more like 2 3/4. So that's, they go up as heavier flow. Okay, so when you're making these, I'll show you the length I've got mine. You know, best thing to do is get one of your favourite pads that you wear at the moment and draw around it. Okay, this one is 10.5 long. I think I have them all generally around the same. 10.5, yeah. See on these ones. Okay, the big nighttime ones, or heavy flow ones, are 12.5. Okay. So best thing to do, use some, you know, like old cardboard from whatever cereal boxes and that, and reuse your cardboard up. Try not to go out and buy anything new for cutting templates. It's some old plastic from I suppose it's a card from material. So what you need to do, cut around one of your favourite pads, or measure generally around the same. Here we've got 2.5 by 10.5. Cut a square to start with, and then just fold it in half and half again, and cut your shape. I've pinned this one here because you need one for the inserts, and then you need one for the outer layers with flaps on, or wings. You just cut round, make sure it's all the same and symmetrical, because this will help later on when you cut everything out separately. It will fit together whichever way you put them round. There we go. So now I know that's all fully symmetrical. Open that up, and there you go. So I've got my back sheet for my backing, I've got my internal section, and then also with these you can put extra sections in the middle if you want a heavier flow and lighter flow ones. Yeah, that is for that one there. So there you go, that's the middle flow pad. So next thing, your material, what you're making it out of. I like to use a Comfort Nights washable waterproof bed pad. I find these great because they've got everything you need all sandwiched together. So I'll just show you what that's like. Also, they are rated by their thickness in litres. So this one is a 3 litre pad. You can get 4 litre pads, which is this one here, it's a green one. So that's the 3 litre, that's the 4 litre. The 3 litre pad has a removable backing on it. It's not together. The front bit is stitched on. Then on the 4 litre pads, it's actually fused together on the back. You can't open it up, which makes a stiffer pad, as in these ones are a lot softer. So try and find the ones with the removable backing on. And I found this one on Amazon. It's called Comfort Nights and it's the 3 litre 90 by 90. I mean, you can just chuck them in the wash and in the dryer. Now, what I do to start with, this is what they look like. You can just take your flat bits off. You don't need those. I lay mine out and draw and take the backing off to start with. So I just cut round the edge here of all of my pad and just remove the backing to start with. I'll show you the backing since I've cut this off. This is what it is. It's sort of like got a material layer on the one side, and then you've got on the inside, you've got a blue plastic. So that's what it's like. It's, you know, it's nice and soft. It's great. Now this pad here is the bit where the pink pad that, and I've cut the blue layer off on the inside here. So the next thing to do, after you've made your templates, is draw around them. And as you can see on here, I've drawn around them. You don't want to draw around the one with flaps right now, because that's to go on the blue layer. So you cut round all of your inserts like that, draw around them and cut them all out. I've also done some larger ones up here. So I've got some of those, and then also I've also drawn on some of my smaller inserts for the extra layer on the bigger pad. You can then draw around your liner with the wings on. So you draw all of these. You can do like a whole lot at once. You can do a few at once, whatever really. So you draw around these and then cut a load of these out. There we go, like that. I'll also need to cut some of the larger ones out because I've also done larger ones on here as well. Half the time is cutting these all out and preparing it all. It's so quick to actually sew them together at the end. There you go. So I'll cut a whole load of those and I'll cut a load of the liners. And then next thing you want to do is pick your fabric and also cut round some of these. So you can use any nice cotton fabric. You can use an organic cotton if you like. So, and then I'm going to draw around this one again with the one with the flaps on. I'm using just a standard Sharpie, only because it's easy to see and just outlines really well. You can obviously use anything you like. So I'll cut a load of those out, and for my liner ones, I'm using this fabric, which is a really gorgeous brushed cotton fabric, and it feels amazing. So I really like this because it's so soft. think I can fit that one in there. Again, it doesn't matter which side you put the lines on really. You can just cut to the inside of your lines you've marked. And there we go. So I'm going to cut a load of these out. And these are all the ones drawn on the backing with the wings. So I'll just go and cut these ones out. Okay, so everything's now cut out. So we've got our back section, our front section, and our absorbent middle section. Okay, so these are all cut out. So now we're going to start placing them together. So I'll just move the main lot away. So put our back down. You've got a sort of material a bit that side, so that goes that way. Pop that on top of there, line it all up, and then put your top layer on. Okay, now we're just going to pin all these together. And then we'll take it to sew. So I'm just going to go all the way around, quite a way in, so I catch everything together on a plain, normal stitch. I'm on that one there, just plain stitch. Okay, I've got back round to the beginning, and now I'm going to put it onto a zigzag stitch. There we go. And I'm going to make sure that my material, the stitch, is going to literally land just, if you can see, it's just off the edge there, which means my stitch will land just below there, hopefully tucking that under a little bit. Right, let's have a go. See if you can see that close. The stitch just comes off the edge and hopefully encases the edge. Right, like that. I'll show you what it looks like. If you can see that behind there, it's just sort of, there we go, you can see it's just caught over the edge. There's where it didn't to start with, look, and then I managed to get it off the edge there. So I'll do that all the way around and then show you. Okay, and I'm back round to the beginning again. Now I'm going to go onto a normal stitch once more, and then I'm going to stitch just on top of the zigzag stitch. On the flaps here, I made sure I kept on the inside of the edge of the fabric on the flaps, because they're such a thinner material, you need to sort of stay on the inside there, but on these bits you just go over the edge to tuck it in, and then I'll just stitch literally in the middle of that stitching there now on the second time round, and I'll also stitch, you can sort of feel the edge, I'll stitch along here. So I'll do that now and show you. There we go. You can stitch round again if you like. I like to just go around the flaps. I'm just going to turn that round. do have to go through the machine, like quite a lot. So there we go. I've done a double stitch around there, also a zigzag all the way around, and double stitching, and then the stitching along the edge there. Okay, so that's all finished now. You can see stitching better on the back there. Now it's time to put the little poppers on. So what I have here is a popper set. I got this from Amazon. I'll just show you the front so you can see. That's what it is. It's the snaps and, well, we call them poppers, but I think in America you call them snaps, and you get this with it as well to put them on. So I'll show you how to use this. And you'll find so many other uses for these as well. I just love these. Okay, so that's the front. We're gonna turn it over to the back and then just do that, and then just make sure it's a comfortable place, and gently put your pokey stick through that comes with the set. Make sure you don't go through the actual pad. Make a good hole there, and then you'll see you've got two little holes. So pick a colour stud you fancy and just push that through. So you got one back one, and we got a little front one there. I just pop that into the pliers and squeeze. You don't need to squeeze very hard. So there's your one popper on. So then the next one needs to go up from below. Push that on, and then you need a little front popper piece. There we go. Those ones are slightly different. Look, one goes up and one's sort of round. So pop that on there and do the same thing again with the pliers. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And you just turn it over and press that together. So there we go, one pad made. Just that way, there we go. So I'm going to do all the rest of these. And also, before you wear them, I wash mine first. So when you wash them, they feel a little bit softer, as you can sort of tell by that. They're a bit softer after you've washed them. So there we go. And now the next ones I'm doing, slightly different. Here's the next one. It's a bit wider. Now with these next pads, they're a little bit more absorbent because they have an extra layer to them. So I'll show you this. You've got your back section. You've then got your front sections, which are here. And this is what they're like. These ones haven't got an extra layer here on these ones, but you can easily put those in depending on your flow. And obviously you'll need quite a few different styles of these and thicknesses for your different times and different strengths of your bleed. So here we go. This one now is going to be a little bit thicker, so it's for a medium, light to medium flow. So I'll take those away. I just got my back piece here. Then I'll put my middle absorbent layer in, and then I'll also put an extra layer in. But this time we're going to put that extra layer onto our front sheet. So I'm turning that over, and then I'm going to go and sew this. I'll put it that way around. I'm going to go and sew this into place. I'm just going to sew all the way around like that, and then I'll come and show you what I've done. So I'm just doing a normal straight stitch all the way around. Okay, so there you go. You can see I've just sewn all the way around the outside. So there you go, sewing all the way around, and then I'm going to sandwich this on top of this one and then sew around again. Okay, so I've just finished this one. Now you just trim off your little bits and bobs and then also turn it over. Like here you can see I've actually got loads over where I've just not sewn right to the edge. I'm just going to trim those bits off. They're not needed. Trying not to nick your stitches, which I think I just did. And some there that just needs a little trim off there. So okay, I'm happy with that one. And as you can see, this one has got is slightly thicker than the liners, which don't have the second layer in. So that's obviously going to be a lot more absorbent. So let's pop the poppers on, turn it over. Pick a green for this one this time. You can pick some really fun materials as well. Obviously a darker material is going to wear and wash better because it won't stain, well, you won't see the stainage as much. But generally, all the panty liners, you don't get that much on them anyway, and they can just go in with your normal clothes. But with the thicker pads like this, to wash them, what I do, I have a little, like a cute little bin basket in my bathroom, and I just pop them in to soak. So I put a solution of soda crystals and soap in there, which is one of my own recipes for laundry liquid detergent, and I put a cap of that in, and I put some water in, and then I leave these to soak. So once I've finished using it, I'll just put it in the little bin, I'll put the lid on, you can't see it, so you know, no one really has to have a look at that, and I leave them soak until, you know, I've got about like 5 or 6 of them, and then I put them in a standard wash. I rinse them a bit, and then just pop them in a standard wash with everything else. But that little bit of pre-soaking really makes a difference, especially in the liquid laundry detergent with the soda crystals in. It stops any staining. It's just brilliant. And I've been using these for well over a year. And as you can tell from these two, yeah, okay, the edges, you know, have gone a little fluffier, but there's no staining on them, and it's brilliant. So the liquid laundry detergent, pop a few capfuls in a little bucket, and then put some water in and put that in your bathroom and just pop them in when you finish with them. And you know, you can even leave them in there a day or two before you wash them when you've got a load up together. If you haven't got a load up together, just pop a towel in with them, so you know there's something else in the machine. So there we go. There's another washable pad, period pad, anything you want to call them. Everyone calls them different things. Sanitary towel. And you'll find you'll wash and wear these so much, you just won't go back to using normal pads again. They are really, really brilliant. And I also do a larger one, which is this one. And I just find having the range really does help, because obviously different days you've got a different amount you're dealing with. So this one here actually has 2 triangles sewn inside, so you've got 2 of those. So again, it's even thicker, so it goes up in stages. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more DIYs. Thanks for watching.